Dr. James Twing and Ethel Twing, they came at Heri Adventist Hospital. Dr. James Twing was a medical director of the hospital, and Ethel Twing worked as a registered nurse at the hospital. And this is how we came to meet. You know, when they were working at the hospital, they were saving more than the hospital. They would go in the village to meet people, to teach the word of God, to heal people, and they will bring very promising young people to their homes and to teach them. And most of them became pastors and they work in the government. Now, in my case, they saw something in me when I was young and brought me in their home. And I stayed with them. They treated me as their really son in the family, and taught me even the Bible. You know, when I went in high school, I desired to be a doctor like them. But somehow I changed to be a pastor. But these missionaries did a great job here in Africa. They saw the need, that the need was not only to heal people. Of course, that was important, but they saw the need that it has to go furthermore to even education. And that's why in our memory we said we have to put up something to remember them, which was their desire. They desired to educate many young people. And so they had a dream. The dream was to start a school where they can educate many young people at once. And today we have two schools with about, the primary school has about 300 students, the secondary school about 60 students. It was my burden to make sure that these schools exist so that we can keep alive the dreams of James Twing and Ethel Twing. Most of the kids in their 12, 13, 14, 15 years old age, they get married. And it is because of the poverty. So the family gets some money or a cow, goat or sheep, and then they marry their daughters to young men.
If you don't send these children to school, most of them, they're starting to be in group. And they will be thieves, and especially for men, and others using drug, you see. But when the importance of them to be here as a Twing Memorial Secondary School or Twing Memorial organization is help them to teach them how they will live as good people in this country, in the church, in the country.
The schools are doing fine, but we are really facing a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. When Dr. Twing was there, or Ethel Twing, we are able to raise funds in the USA here and there, but here I am alone. What will I do? So it became a very stressful thing to me, very stressful. But God has been so good, opening the way here and there to sustain this school. Let's start with the elementary school. It's not a boarding school because we don't have that capacity of keeping school children at the school. So they walk about 4 to 5 kilometers coming to school. They spend almost 1 hour, 2 hours walking to school. And that is really a very big problem that we are facing without a means of transport. And so dangerous. In some villages are very far from where the school is located. So they have to walk a long distance. Many things can happen on the way. Animals, snakes, and so on. So we are praying that God may provide the means for them. At the secondary school, the students are in a boarding school. For them, at least, they are there. Not much walking. They can just go to classroom, but they need dormitories. There are many reasons why I love this place. One, I'm born from here and attached to this place. I'm born in this house. I lived in this house with Dr. James Twing. They had a dream to start the school. Second, I'm from her tribe. The tribe around here is the Her people. So I feel really the burden seeing the new generation getting education. Of course, for me, I was educated. They helped me all the way for my education up to PhD. But what is the reward? What does it help to see that I'm educated and then the young people are suffering without education? So my burden is to see that the Her people, young boys and children get education like how I did. I wanted, what Dr. Ethel Twing, Dr. James Twing and Ethel Twing did it to me. I want to pass it over to the new generation.
Friends, 42 children are awaiting sponsorship from the country of Tanzania. All of them are from the Twing Memorial School. The mention of the name Twing takes me right back to my childhood. I'm sitting in the living room in the home where I grew up in Walla Walla, Washington. My dad is visiting with a small, vivacious lady by the name of Ethel Twing. I knew her affectionately as Grandma Twing. She used to come and stay with us every year when she was on furlough in the United States. My dad asked her a simple question. What are your needs? Grandma Twing explains about her projects in the country of Tanzania and how much more could be done if the financial resources were available. My dad asked a follow-up question. How much do you need? He then quietly walks over to a desk and opens up a drawer where a checkbook is located. I can see it in my mind right now. He then fills out a check, handing it to Grandma Twing. She glows knowing the impact those resources will have halfway around the world. I'm not sure why that scene is so vivid in my mind. Many times I wondered what it was like in Tanzania. What motivated Grandma Twing? What gave her such passion? Her story puzzled me even more when I heard that her husband had died in a tragic airplane accident only 3 years after they arrived in Tanzania as missionaries. Yet for more than 40 years, she tirelessly continued to love and serve the people in Tanzania. In 2014, Grandma Twing passed away at the age of 92. However, her legacy continues. That childhood impression was so strong on my mind that when I joined Child Impact, one of the first actions that I took was to discover the status of the mission school established in honor of the Twing family. That is when I met Pastor Musa. I found out that he was raised in the Twing home and was entrusted with continuing the operations of the Twing Memorial Primary and Secondary School. The school is located in an area of extreme poverty and where child marriage is commonplace. As I visited with Pastor Musa, I discovered that the school had almost shut down prior to COVID. The financial resources had eventually dwindled after the death of Grandma Twing, and it seemed continuing the school was not possible. Yet hundreds of children were enrolled. Providentially, a donor had stepped forward and provided the necessary funds for about 2 years of operations. Now, Pastor Musa explained, those funds were depleted and the future again looked bleak. As we visited, it became clear that sponsoring children through Child Impact International would help provide long-term financial stability, as many children could not afford to pay anything toward their tuition. Through generous donations, Child Impact was also able to fund the construction of shops to be rented to local vendors as a way to generate ongoing income to support teacher salaries. The same joy I saw in the face of Grandma Twing emanated from Pastor Musa. That takes me back to the number of 42. 42 boys and girls from the Twing Memorial School who need sponsors. Perhaps like my dad, you will feel compelled to write a check. I found out later that my dad didn't stop there. He used his influence as well. He then drove Grandma Twing around to other donors in the area, encouraging them to join him in supporting her mission in Tanzania. Would you consider being part of the legacy of Grandma Twing? How about encouraging others to get involved as well? It makes a world of difference, a child at a time. Pastor Musa was one of those children who had a need. Grandma Twing personally responded and raised him as her own in her own home. What is that little boy doing today? Well, he has just been elected as the Executive Secretary for the East Central Africa Division with over 4 million members. Like him, each of the 42 children awaiting sponsorship from the Twing Memorial School has potential that can be unlocked through the gift of sponsorship. Thank you for prayerfully considering the difference you can make. A child is waiting.